Hey Twitch, we're back for the final part of our Start That Number show tonight, and let's get to it.
Yeah, you guys, welcome to Briggs University, or at least one of the campuses. Yeah, you guys offload. Adair's stable for the time being and sedated, so he'll be okay for the foreseeable future. You exit and come out into out of your hangar bay. I assume the whole party's with you. You leave Carmela with the ship. She wants to come if you want to bring her with.
No, because I feel like she's just gonna find the people that want to play space frisbee, and then it's gonna be a whole thing.
Yeah, she grumbles but nods and says she'll help with Joran's. Make
With
sure
the brain
that,
swapping?
Yeah, make sure that the vitals are stable on Adair. If anything changes, she'll let you guys know. But yeah, the party leaves the ship, and you walk out. And as you walk out, you enter into sort of a clean prefab hallway, and there's a like what appears to be, I can only describe as like a college intro class where there's a bunch of students like trailing after somebody in a lab coat, and he's dictating loudly about like some sort of economics lecture about like the installation, as you can see, is geared to provide the types of resources that would encourage, you know, uh, commerce. And in the 28th century, we believe that commerce, and it's just like a lecture that's going on. There's like a little sort of like, you know, group maybe of 15 or 20 like younger men and women, all humans, sort of proceeding. Some take note of you, but they're all concentrated on their data pads, sort of like typing notes or like sort of identifying things and talking about apparently infrastructure building in terms of economics. Who knows? But yeah, you guys proceed along, and you're waiting there, sort of unknowingly, or not sure where to proceed when Dr. Lloyd comes around the corner. You recognize him. White hair going everywhere. You don't have any clear image of his or sense of his age, between 40 and 70, except that he seems very excited to see you. He says, "Oh, good. Welcome. I'm Dr. Ignatius Lloyd. You could just call me Dr. Lloyd. Welcome. Please, we'll show you the cargo and discuss the terms of the contract. The delivery is of the utmost importance. Sure, it's important. Come. You'll want to see the new models, I'm sure." And
I don't know what these new models are, but I want to see them now.
yeah, this way. They're in one of our top secret holding areas. Not many get to see this, and your cargo hold seems. We did some preliminary scans. Seems secured and your ship capable of carrying them. It is valuable cargo. Come with me. And it's all rather hasty, but yeah, you get brought in, and you're brought into like an observation deck. And you're looking down on sort of a warehouse hangar bay area, and you can see rows of, I don't know, what look like crouched, like, I don't know, like people. But Dr. Lloyd comes in and says like, yes, please activate the models. And a signal goes out and says, rise and present, and all kind of in unison. What are not like robotic creatures, but like stand up, that you see are human forms. They all stand up at once, about 50 of them.
Interesting.
And the human forms are all naked. They're all women.
Creepy.
They stand up and they turn and give a little like shrug in unison and stand as in a pose, like with their like one hand on hip, all at once. Shunk. Yes, these are the newest breeds, if you will. We are quite proud of them, and we have a client who's quite interested in them. So, this is your cargo. They're down there.
I just out of curiosity, their primary function.
Well, they're human. Do you see? They're human.
You just
This is
hear
an
in the back of your-
abomination of science.
You hear in the back of your mind, let's keep these away from Jorns.
Could we put the boy's brain in one of them?
I'm sorry, yes.
No.
Are you familiar with some of our research here at Briggs University? Maybe not.
What?
These are our newly established model of the training program we've both recently introduced. You can see here, we selectively bred along these genotypes, or these phenotypes, and there's some genetic display that comes up. They are fully human, but biddable, yes, and designed for the purposes, somewhat expandable depending on the intentions of the buyer. We don't presume anything about who would want for them, but they are ready. They are all, as requested by our buyer, 80% woman, 20% male.
Sounds right.
Atlas isn't gonna. Atlas like turns to them. Does he know what Lepidomo? Presumably he knows what Lepidomo do, right?
Yeah, he hasn't balked or been surprised by you, either on scans or information forward ahead of time, or just familiarity with you. So
I like look to him and I say, "Do you mind if I poke around?"
yes, but the poking is reserved for the buyer, of course. But investigation, of course, of course.
Yeah, I think as he says that, Atlas uses his mind powers to speak to one of them.
Yeah, so you're in this observation deck, and you see in this cargo loading area 50 humans sort of standing in rows, and yeah, you reach out to one.
What do I hear? Because I get a sense of like what there is. Is it just silence, or is there a mind within there?
You get a sense of not silence, of like they don't know how to process like a psychic greeting, so they treated this one, a woman who you target, treats it as a like, oh, hello, pleasure to meet you.
And she's
you
talking.
are one of the most interesting people I've and yeah, she's like, you can see one of them moving their lips down there, and the thoughts, work with that. They match that. Like it's like she's like, it's a pleasure to meet someone so interesting as you that I can't see even, but you seem so strong.
What sort of feelings do I get from it? Is it like, or is there no feeling at all? Is it like
there is feeling? There's interest, intrigue, curiosity, in some very base forms. In terms of you just get like a sense of like, huh. I'm talking. I can't see you, but I can kind of see you, because you can you project an image kind of yourself, like when you like talk with them. She's like,
yeah,
I haven't expected this, but I'm very interested in learning more about you.
So their mind control or whatever it is, does it feel like a primary function or some sort of thing that can be suppressed?
You don't get a sense of any mind control, any other force acting on.
Okay, but is there like an innate feeling of necessity to serve or anything? Like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. You get a sense that it's not like you don't get a sense that it's artificial.
hmm
You get a biological reading of like she wants to know how she can help you.
uh, Atlas sort of like is like interesting. You are quite a perplexing creature that has an unfortunate end coming to you. And he just sort of shuts the connection off, and he like turns to the. Well, if she says anything in the mind before he does, you can say something.
No, I think she's like, I like endings and beginnings, something
Yeah.
like that.
It's like really dumbed down like nonsense, and he turns to just like, you bred them to serve. It's not mind control. It's just subservience.
Oh, yes, we have an advanced program here. Our colonies have been carefully selected, and we're at the point of being able to market our product. This is to fulfill a. Uh, excuse me. Is to fulfill a, and you can see like in person that he like has a constant like handkerchief that he's constantly like wiping a drool from his mouth, and it like coughs a bunch. He's like, yes, this is the newest product line, and we have a buyer that was unsatisfied with our first line, and we wish to fulfill them, if you will. Yes, you're
Okay.
here. You are ready to package the product.
Do they need food and water? I would assume so.
Yes, they have a supply regimen that's included in the transport cost. It's part of the package.
Oh, okay. Atlas looks to Maximus and says, I have no problem with serving this cargo, but I know you and your feelings may have another suggestion.
I glare at you,
Yeah?
and I guess I look back over at him. I'm sorry if I didn't catch this before. Were these people grown, or were they changed?
Yes.
Aren't we all grown? Born.
That's not a fucking answer. That's not a fucking answer.
Yes.
I like square my eyes back at him. Did you just pick random people off the street and turn them into this?
No, of course not. We have the
Then-
top-notch breeding program on the planet. Of
So
course,
they-
that's what is
So
what
they
we
were
do.
catered into this from childhood.
Generations, in fact, breeding the most selective characteristics.
Kind of like glare over at Atlas. So, since we've already established that we don't give a fuck for free will, yeah, let's take the fucking job, because these guys are fucked anyway.
I mean, like Atlas then like spews information. It's like, well, there's potential. If you really have that big of a problem, I could probably hinder their subservience for a second or a while, and
I like raise an eyebrow.
Yeah.
That doesn't change where they're going. That doesn't change what we're going to do. Load them up. Let's get fucking going. We got places to be.
okay.
He leaves the call. He leaves the call.
He leaves the call. It's over.
I feel like every job that I've put in front of Max has really tested his boundaries unintentionally. Yeah, so he's like, well, Dr. Lloyd is like, well, this is excellent. As I think the contract bid mentioned is that we've been trying to fulfill this for a while, but we've had logistical troubles. We have not declared terms. Let's discuss payment. This is valuable cargo for us, we admit. We'll put that on the table right now. It's on the table. On the table.
I look to Maximus. This
Sort of
is,
scratches his like
you're the
neck.
boss here. Boss.
I'm the boss now, huh?
I mean, when it comes to contracts, yes.
What
I'll
is he
write one up for
offering?
you.
What is he offering again?
No number has been put out yet.
I thought a number was initially put out when we thought about the job.
If it was, I don't remember it. I mean,
Okay.
it was at
Alright.
the same time as
Alright.
Outer Tech's
It's
100
valuable
Maximus looks
material.
squarely at this man, right in the eyes, and says, 120,000 credits.
Ah. Oh.
Selfie keeps a straight face and just looks at him.
Yeah, he flinches, looking at you both and says, "Well, the destination is
The destination isn't what matters, is it? It's the
Ah,
fucking
but it's
cargo.
going to a deadly planet with very stringent laws, and it only puts us in more risk carrying such cargo. So if anything, it would add to the price, I would argue.
Such fucking cargo. I glare at him. How many people have really bitten onto this? How many people have wanted to take this awful
We
chance?
have clients all over the sector. We have some recent difficulties, no doubt, but the new revamped models are worth the expenditure.
I nod.
120,000 credits. I could see that. I would suggest that, considering that you only have to bypass the security measures of New Jerusalem, where we know that you all carry passports, at least most of you, but it may be a problem, but 80,000 credits for the full delivery and confirmation receipt from
95.
Negotiable, are we? Let me consult. And he goes to his datapad for a moment and steps out of the room.
Got bills to pay.
Yeah, so he's out of the room for the moment.
I just like to look back at everybody and say, how the fuck did this happen? How did we get into this fucking
He
mess?
took a job we don't know about. That's how it usually goes.
I mean,
Barlow is really happy, really interested in Briggs University. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
yeah.
Barlow is really interested in their expertise.
I think Atlas, like in all of your heads, is like, well, if they have genetic expertise in breeding, it's potential they have data on psionics and the psionic genome. They could potentially help us with a data problem.
They potentially could breed him a body that could withstand his power that we could transfer.
I don't
And
think
he
that's...
like backs away with a turns it.
No! No!
I'm merely asking for the data. If I have a better understanding of the psionics on a chemical level, I could potentially slow down what's going on. They may, if there's a breeding program, there's potential that they have a trainer for things like this.
Slow down what's going on. You want to fuck with these people?
To
what end, Atlas?
help Adair?
You're talking about this piece, and I don't see how you're getting from here to here.
Because they have a biological understanding. They know how to breed people. They understand genetics.
Ask them if they have a scion that can train him.
Okay.
That bypasses all that shit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Some
all
sort
of,
of
all of the
hormonal suppressant for some kind of MES. Okay.
Yeah, Atlas is like, you see him on edge, Maximus. Are you? Is this bothering you? We don't need to take this job if you don't want to.
Taking the fucking job. It's good money. They're gonna get transported anyway. I'm just a little bit on edge over the fact that our child, who we are going to supposedly protect just teleported into our fucking ship.
Okay, listen. What happened to Adair was unfortunate, but
Oh, quite. Yeah, it was quite unfortunate when we put information in his fucking brain.
I
mean,
would say it was fruitful. I think the camp was a
punched
success.
I actually punched. I just straight falcon punch him in the face.
Look up, bud!
Maximus, I do believe. I don't think that's good for your heart.
No, it's not good for my knuckles.
Yeah. He hands both of you like some aspirin. This is for your knuckles. Anti-inflammatory, just for you. And then he.
Throw the aspirin away, I light a
You gave him a
cigarette.
blood thinner as his nose is like bleeding heavily.
Yeah, exactly. It's great. Don't worry about it. Look, it's not about the blood at this moment. It's about the pain, right?
Does he walk back into the room at this point?
Yeah, he comes back in not right then. But as Varlo has some gauze stuck up his nose and is doing this thing. And he's like, I've spoken with my superiors. Differences of opinion?
It's fine. Everything's okay.
They do this all the time. It's fine. Continue.
You're here. I'm afraid that we cannot go lower than 100,000 credits.
100,000 then.
So 100.
Perfect.
Yeah, like it's like
1,000 higher than what I offered.
exactly. So,
No, wait. Yeah,
No!
We'll leave it there. We'll leave
No,
it
no,
there.
no,
I
no,
fucked
no.
up. I've lost track of where we are. It's fine.
95. That's
Yeah.
what I offered last. So
No. Yeah, he went to 80. That's right. I was gonna say 85. It doesn't matter. He says we feel that the risks. I'm not gonna roleplay it. I fucked it up. It's fine. It's 100,000 credits again. And he's like, with confirmation receipt.
yeah, we'll email you.
Ensure no. I'm afraid that we need it delivered to us at least by near. Basically, they need you to
Spike
be
jump back home.
spike jump at least back to the system to beam back specifics on this. Certain statistics on sensors
All
they
right.
indicate.
Here's the sheets. Here you go. Here's the fucking sheets, motherfucker, with the red stains on them to prove that they lost their goddamn virginity. All right.
yeah,
Cake bullshit.
yeah.
That's fine. Maximus agrees to this.
Oh boy,
This even went further than I thought it would.
guys,
Okay.
you just became sex
So-
traffickers. How's that make you?
Yeah, how's that feel, guys? How's it going?
You
Jordan is
signed-
going to be thrilled.
You signed the forms. So so they the moment that the last sheet is signed, there's a signal that goes out. You can hear it. It's sent it's sent to their like you can hear it, Atlas, and it's sent, and they all stand up and begin to break lines and mill about, but heading toward the exit. Like a group of like 10 of them carry several crates that are their own supplies that are going to get them there. Like they're supplied for themselves. And Dr. Lloyd looks up and says, "You see, it was going to be good. It's going to be great."
Dr. Lloyd, do you have a psionic consultant, possibly?
We have a whole department. Are you kidding me? We're a university, a reputable university after all.
Like he doesn't. I think he lets that linger for a moment as like these people are like pulling, like dragging their own equipment through. And,
Yeah, he like sort of pauses and looks at you and looks down and says like, "Oh, we have a different program for those who are gifted with
Do you
the
have a
genomics for MES.
do you have a psionic consultant that could possibly come with us on this journey?
We have a number of innovative and extremely accomplished researchers who are busy at the moment. I don't think they would be interested in this venture.
Would they be interested in a 13-year-old? No, how old is he? 11? 9?
Yeah, he's 10 going on 11. He might have turned
Yeah.
11. He's around 10 or 11.
And how would they ask him if they'd be interested in helping an 11-year-old with MES?
Do you wish to leave him here for further consultation?
We are
Yeah.
coming back.
Yeah, Atlas sort of looks and just like consultation, not experimentation.
No, he's my experiment.
Falcon punch him again.
Do you hit him in the gut this time? So he's like, no, it's my.
Yeah, Varlo's
No, right in the
Varlo
dick.
withdraws,
Right in the
puking in.
Yeah.
Okay, so regardless, he's puking in the corner. But Dr. Lloyd is rubbing his hands. Says, "We absolutely have room for another consulting patient."
Atlas sort of looks and just like, if you're interested in the child, then you'll be willing to send one of your trainers with us. If I deem your
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And it's not my field of expertise.
Mhm.
I'm in logistics, but know that we think this would be of interest to us. Yes. It would be of interest, but any consultants would be based on the moon base here. We could only do this work here. You would have to leave the child here in good care, great care, the best.
Atlas sort of looks to Maximus and just like, do you think this is a good idea?
Xmas nods.
Yeah.
This way he doesn't accidentally teleport into our spike
Yeah.
drive.
Atlas sort of looks over and says, I will write you up a contract on things that you are not allowed to implement on this child.
No sex.
Yeah, and it's like I think like he heads back like after that, and he sends a file that's like, no.
So you send a medical file, and you're
Yeah.
like, yeah. And Dr. Lloyd nods, and he says, yes, we'll put our crack team on it.
He's not research. He's a patient, correct?
He is absolutely patient zero.
Patient.
Zero, meaning we don't have patients yet with this condition, and it is. I mean,
But do you have experts in this
I'm
field? Give me the
exquisitely
credentials.
excited to examine this patient and to see what discoveries could spur our researchers on. Yes? Listen, the best care is here. And
I do
he
not
provides
believe-
you
Varlo?
he doesn't provide like a pamphlet. He provides you a data dump, like, and you see a glimpse of it and sort of portrays like they have advanced facilities medically here, like
Okay.
totally in terms of if the goal was keeping him alive,
Mm-hmm.
yes, they could do that.
Okay.
But it's how much you trust or set up to make sure he, you don't know what else they could do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Atlas sort of.
I think you're in a weird place where you're like they could help us and we don't know what they do, right?
Yeah, so it's very much Atlas being like, you keep him alive and entertained for the duration of this mission, and I will think of keeping him in your care. And he sort of like,
Yeah, Dr. Lloyd sort of looks at you and just breaks in a grin. Says, This is very interesting.
And I think like he sends a file, like I said, that has all the things he's not allowed to do, and if he breaks the contract of agreements, he will be liable for being sued and Atlas taking control of whatever.
You have very valuable cargo you're carrying.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. And he sort of, yeah, Atlas like pulls out Adair, who's sedated, and I think like we get the scene of him like passing by all these naked ladies. Just
Yeah, they're like filing into them.
yeah.
Naked ladies, of 50, there's like 6 or 8 of them that are naked men too. But they're filing in, and you go back and grab a dare in like a floating stasis pod, and as you go out, you see like Jorans at the controls, like
Yeah, you can still hear the softcore porn from his
God
from
damn it.
his shit. It's great.
and he looks at you, and he's like,
Jorn, these things stay in pristine condition. You hear me?
yeah. Basically, he has nothing to say, but. They all file into the cargo hold and begin to stack themselves like intricately, like where they crouch down and sort of like squat and like occupy the cargo hold. So
Oh boy, this is gonna be an interesting one, guys. So yeah, I hand over Adair if no one stops me, which it seems no one will stop me.
I
so-
trust you, Atlas. I
mean,
don't.
Varlo would have actually tried to have stopped you, but he got his nose good and broke, and his
No.
gut good and punched in.
it got broke, but Farlow,
you can
get
speak
your
up.
moment. Like I don't want you to.
Selfie doesn't trust the people, but
Yeah,
he trusts
you run up-
Atlas. So if Atlas says this is what's going on, and it's
You run
the
up
best
with your
thing to do.
nose like clenched, and you see
Yeah.
like a floating bed, with a dare on it, like this sort of like detached bed, and Atlas is escorting it to a med bay, and you run up.
Yeah.
And like, wait.
Okay, wait. Let's look at this logically from a purely objective standpoint. Okay, it doesn't. Could they keep him alive? Yes. We could also keep him alive. The issue is whether or not we could subdue his powers, which, without any accurate means of training him, they don't really stand any better chance than we do. And really, they are much more likely than I am to interfere with his situation. It just it stands to reason that if you don't trust me with meddling with him, then these people are just it's a facility full of me, essentially.
Atlas sort of looks at you just like, so long as we hold the cargo, whatever higher ups that are in power.
He has the data with him also that they will also perchance be able to access, and that lessens its worth.
Do we
It's-
care about the data's? Like Atlas sort of looks like it's negligible. We've already given the data to one buyer. What does it matter if we give it to someone who doesn't even know what to do with it? It's a child of a mind. We have no idea what that's done to it. Second of all, I have no idea how to help him.
I don't think they would either, is the thing. I think short of somebody that could train him, which they don't seem willing to or able to provide at the moment, it's the same odds. The only variable here is whether or not he's teleporting through our ship or through their facility.
If he teleports to the facility, they have the ability to take care of him. If he teleports to the ship and he breaks something, we have no ability to survive. This is no longer a matter of how can I help this child. It's a matter of liability for the crew, and I need to do what's best for the crew. And I think like Atlas sort of pushes forward, unless you like really get to him.
Okay, as you guys are having this conversation, everyone gets an update from Rosebud in your like earpiece and data pad. And I want to get this to you before, so you.
Yeah.
I have Paro balls as a
Pair of balls, perfect.
handout. And you get the following readout. It's written here. It says these small spherical baubles respond to human body heat, projecting a cascading spill of images and subsonics keyed to calm any agitated holder. So you know that they are psionically in tuned. They resonate with human brainwaves in particular. If Atlas picked them up, they would do nothing. So you know that I wanted to give you this because it was a good idea on Atlas about what might help. But you know that these would respond to human body heat, and the materials would do this. It would take further study to know all of the facets of the tool.
Okay, but calm any agitated holder. So it might be able to. We that's still theoretically would it calm his powers? Yes or no? Like because
Theoretically, yes.
Okay, but it's still not a definite though, and you would have to test.
No,
it out.
not a definite. And to be fair, I'm introducing this now, but you would have, like I said, I wanted to look this up. You would have known this before going in, so it's not
Okay.
it's not truly. I wouldn't bring it in now to change the dynamic that you guys have going. I would bring it in now just so that you had a reminder that this was also an option. And I said it was an option in the sense that leaving him here with Briggs University is also an option. Like I just didn't want you to forget about it. It's not necessarily better or worse. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Atlas is gonna have him stay for at least during the duration of the mission, because I don't think there's anything else he can really do for him. So
Okay.
that's that.
Max? Selfie?
I'm trusting Atlas.
Great. Don't fuck it up.
Yeah. Lloyd's like, oh, very good. The patient. Yes. We will get him to the best care. The best care. Come down the hallway. The orderlies will take you. And they like take over. Now they take over the pushing the sort of floating little platform and hook some vitals up to him. You see some beeping. And they're like, he'll be safe here. And we will study. I think there's an understanding that what we learn will inform our research, of course, but that we will keep him all in hale health, of course.
If he becomes Scod, there'll be something to be.
But these are delicate situations. What I'm given to understand, I've spoken with a consultant, but in our research division, but points out that if this is indeed a situation where somebody is experiencing the effects of MES, a human, of course, too early, it is a tenuous situation. You understand that we are taking on certain risks ourselves.
Yes. Just don't risk him any more than is necessary. And I think Atlas just sort of walks out.
Keep him alive. We will do so.
Yeah.
We will do so.
Great. Atlas just left them with geneticists that breed subservient humans. This is great.
Mm-hmm.
Good ideas, guys. Only in a sci-fi setting.
I mean, you guys.
This is gonna bite us in the end.
You guys decided to sacrifice him up so that Varlo didn't have to do something scary, right? So.
I mean, yeah, but that's the best part. Is now we're attached because of what we did, right?
There was like definitely the like Barlow will remember this like when this decision was reached, and yeah, he's like mumbling and grumbling about like the bullshit of moral relativism.
It's not even moral though. Atlas can't help him, so he's just gonna do what's best for him. And
No, totally.
Oh, this
moral relativism.
Well, so the cargo has loaded itself by this point, and Dr. Lloyd says, yes, well, be safe. Here are the coordinates for the delivery. Your contact goes by the name of, let me pull it up in my file here. Yes. His name is Vinny.
It would be somebody named Vinny.
Vinny Toruno. He's named at least. Vinny Toruno. He resides and he's expecting the delivery on Almazari in looks like subsector F of New Jerusalem. Perhaps you're familiar with the Toruno family.
Am I familiar with the Toruno family?
Are they all bastards?
You all give me a flat d6 just so I can give flavor to what
right.
people know.
Did I make a note check?
Except for who's been on? You two have Dart and Jason.
Yeah.
Are from New Jerusalem. Kevin's been there, so you can roll 2. Atlas, you cannot. Patch, you can.
I can't roll no.
No, you can. No, it's just a flat 2d6.
Oh, 2d6.
Oh, 2d6.
Yeah, roll another d6.
I got an
So,
11.
11,
So I'm roll-
7.
I got
Only
an
a
11
flat as
too.
well? 10.
Yes.
Hey.
You all know, not Atlas, but you fill him in and he's quick on the uptake. The Toruno Triad is a gang, is a criminal syndicate that's known to operate on New Jerusalem or in New Jerusalem, the city. It's a big city. The whole planet's a fucking city. So, you know that there's nice areas and seedy areas, and there's probably bribes being paid that of, organized crime can exist in such a planet. But so Vinny Toruno, apparently a named member of the family, is placed this order. Yeah.
Sweet.
We got space vampires now. The space mafia. This is great. I love it.
Yeah. So, pending anything else you want to do you want to refuel here, or do you want to go scoop your own fuel?
I think we refuel, right?
Yeah, we'll probably just refuel.
Yeah.
Refuel and restock, or no?
I'd say scoop our own fuel. We're not on a time crunch, right? We save 400 credits by scooping
Oh.
our own fuel.
Yes.
500.
Let's-
500.
We didn't have a.
We
time
should
to go meet up
do
with
that.
Your buddy.
My buddy hasn't gotten back to me, so
Okay. Yeah, then we might as well.
Yeah, I don't know that you'll hear from Aetha Bray this session.
Ever again.
No, I just mean like the Briggs University contract which you took no one had taken it, and Aetha Bray had a time limit on her stuff.
Okay.
So whatever she's doing right now, she's busy, so she'll get back to you basically.
Turns out she's also part of the sex trafficking.
We'll see.
Yeah.
nah,
good
she's
times.
fucking be like, kill these fuckers you just delivered shit to. And I'd be like,
You muted. I can't hear
You
you.
muted
she's
yourself.
She's gonna be like, kill these motherfuckers you just delivered these people to. And I'm gonna be like, fuck it, I got paid. Let's do it.
Just do it all.
Backstabbing everyone. Toxic people. That's what we are.
Cool.
Murder
Sex
by
trafficking was a
space.
slippery slope, guys. When you're James Bucky.
So you guys get back on the ship, and there are rows of crouched 50 people. Now, 50 people is too much for your ship to handle, but they all seem to have, like, when you come on and the ship doors close, they all put masks on. It seems like they're packaged for travel, essentially. Like, you're not incurring some like weird life support penalty by having them. You are full cargo though. You have a bunch of people there. Does anyone have anything to say to any of them, or?
No.
Barlow just stays away from.
No. I want zero to do with these people.
Jordan's
Yeah, Self is
very
making sure
interesting.
Jordan is
Yes.
not like going down the cargo bay.
Well,
I
Selfie,
tell
I
Rosebud
manage the cargo.
Pays him.
I
Yeah,
take care of
and
the
Jordan,
cargo.
look, I think
this
it's
is the
managing
cargo.
itself very well.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think Atlas chimes in and is just like, well, for now I manage the cargo since I am the biological officer, and they seem to be biological. So you can clean out the blood in the medical bay. He's and like he gives
Just
like,
like the catwalk,
yeah.
the
Damn
catwalk
it
above
again.
the cargo bay. Like Jordan, this is as close as you
Yeah.
get.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can
You
sit
see him.
right
So
here
he
if
goes
you
off
want.
to the medical bay. You guys are around in the next hour. You see him up on the catwalk, and he's like mopping the catwalk, and like
That's so gross. What a gross human being! Oh my fucking god.
he's simple.
Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
okay.
Your parting words, like it's over your intercom. So first of all, Carmela, Max, you walk out onto the bridge and you tell Carmela, it says it's time to go, right? Yeah, Carmela looks and is like, what the fuck did we just bring on board? Who did we bring on board? What do you have me all doing?
We are sex traffickers now.
Yeah, this is to Max.
I guess I look to Carmela. I square my eyes with her. I say, "Do you want to get paid?"
I do,
And
but
shut
I'm
up.
in. She
Oh,
glares.
fucking breaking
You
backs.
think I'm happy about this? You think I like this?
Then why are we here?
Because we're getting paid. We gotta fucking fund this fucking ship.
And where's Adair?
Adair's there because if he's there, then he's
Let
not
the
here
child-
jumping into our spike drive.
With this, you've left him with the sex traffickers.
They're the sex traffickers. We're the
Yes.
sex traffickers.
Take. Maximus,
Carmela?
I think your priorities are a little mixed up.
No shit. Tell me something I don't know. I hate myself for this. But you know what? We're doing it. Got something else to say?
Strap in for takeoff.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so Dr. Lloyd sees you off electronically or like through a message like in video comms. He's like standing next to the bed of Adair and he's like, he's in good hands. Take care, everybody. Take care. Safe cargo. Be careful. Okay? Be careful with them. They are fragile. Be good. And there's a lot of credits riding on this, obviously. Dr. Lloyd signing out. And it like shuts off and you guys take off. And you leave and you're headed for New Jerusalem. Cool. Does anybody want to have a conversation as you're going? So it'll be another 24-hour stretch to get through the asteroid belt again. Does anybody have anything they want to do or say with the cargo or with anybody, the crew? Do you guys want to have a crew meeting, anything like that?
I think, unless anyone else has ideas, Atlas just spends his time with the cargo, like just inspecting them psionically and physically to see just how genetically preordained they are to subservience. And that's
Okay.
that's
Put that cool. Put that on hold. Remember it. I'll give you some information.
yeah.
Selfie. Carmelo's gonna have an earful. For you.
Okay. I think I don't have any conversations with Maximus, but I think we both kind of look at each other like knowingly as we pass through the halls. Like we're not. Neither of us are happy about this, but it's money, and this is a job we got hired to do.
Maximus, anything?
No, Max was just drinking sense.
Okay. Yeah. So, if you would, guys,
I have a new goal, by the way.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, I want to see it so bad. Atlas, get a better look into the cargo and research what exactly was done if it can be undone. I like it.
Unsexing the sex
So
bots.
if it's just to investigate it, it's 1 XP.
Look, that's fine. That's just the start. This is just the beginning.
Just the be. This is just
Atlas
the.
has a better. Once Atlas has a better idea on how this procedure was done and if it can be undone.
So,
That'd be great.
I'd like to not force a scene, but I'd like the party to convene briefly on the bridge and talk about the plans and talk about amongst yourselves about the fact that you're delivering cargo to a crime syndicate, the Toruno Triad. And the cover for this is I'm going to go refill my drink, but I don't want to take a break. So you all are on the bridge. What's your plan in terms of, are you delivering this in good faith? You're going to like circumvent the authorities and like do this on the sly? Or are you going to turn over the cargo? Or, I want you guys to like talk for a minute amongst yourselves for 30 seconds, if you don't mind. Be right back.
Yeah.
Maximus goes first.
Yeah, man.
What do you want to have happen, Max?
I want to get the job over. That's what I want to do. I think it's great that you want to investigate this shit and learn how to like change it and stuff, Atlas. But that doesn't get us paid. That doesn't finish the mission. It makes an enemy out of Briggs University, and it mires us down in what's going on with this.
I mean, well, while I agree, that's what's fun. This is making it.
Do what you want to do.
I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he would turn it off. But that knowledge of knowing how it was done is more important to him than how to fix it. Because if it can be done to
that's
people,
fine.
then
Yeah.
it can be done to other people.
Go get some academic research out of it, you fucked up Mothman.
Look, man, anything for the betterment of my people.
I'm gonna go take a piss.
Having a subservient race, guys. Think about it.
Cool. So, any conclusions made as I forced you guys into conversation to cover for me?
We just.
No, I think we're gonna do
Yeah,
the mission.
we're doing the mission, and in the time we have allotted to the mission, Atlas wants to explore them. That's fine, but we're not gonna. We don't want to like keep. Maximus and I don't want to keep them any past that.
I think there's an expectation on the delivery based on it'll take you something like to get to. So that's a week or 2 weeks. So it's expected that this is gonna take about a month to deliver if you guys were a base Spike 1 ship and to report back on delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because if you were a Spike 1 or a Spike 2 ship, so it's a week. 3 weeks just to get there, and then to complete delivery would be about 4 weeks.
Okay.
So that's not a time limit, but like an expectation when they're going to be interested in information. Yeah, you are at 30 minutes, right, Kevin?
I can go 30 minutes more.
Can we do? Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that because there's more ahead.
All right.
And I will get Dart back in when he comes back. He'll be back in a second. But so you guys blast off from the moon base. You've got your cargo in hand. Concerns notwithstanding, the need for cash flow overwhelming all, and for simplifying certain complicated matters. And you head out. And you make your way away from the planet Ithacus and their and the moon where the Briggs University base is located, and you head back towards the asteroid belt. And Varlo, you notice as you're flying up, Carmela like points something out, and she says, "Got a signal." And I need you to roll me a 2d6 plus your. I want you to roll me your pilot skill, plus either your whatever your favorable stat would be for that. 9, nice. Yeah, you notice, and Carmela confirms, you have a signature on you. You've been tracked.
Uh-oh. Like it's coming off the ship?
You have the notification. It was sort of concealed from what you were doing, but as you get back towards the asteroid field, you see that some other base installation or ship has your sensor lock, basically your location locked.
Maximus are being tracked.
He put his headphones. Yeah, put his headphones on.
Varlo immediately like jumps over to side display and starts trying to like.
You guys are being tracked. Varlo just discovered you've been tracked here.
Yeah.
And he notices coming out.
Do we know what's tracking us?
No, but I'm gonna start pinging to see if I could determine what it is or where it might be coming from.
Yep. Give me a. What do you want to do? Like you're just searching with the computer sensors, or using Rosebud?
Yeah,
like what are you doing?
I'm gonna have Rosebud assist me, and I'm just gonna start like pinging off the sensor and see if I could backtrace where this lock is coming from.
Sure. Yeah, you guys are flying along. Give me a 2d6, and it's lower the difficulty, so it's. What was your roll there? What did you roll in that? Plus what? Plus 2?
That's the last roll is my pilot, so I think I would roll a program here.
Program. What's your program bonus? Do you know?
It's an extra. Well, I'm at level 2 on program, and I have the extra d6.
Yeah, and you can use that. So go ahead and roll it. It's a 7 difficulty. Pretty easy.
Yeah.
11. Yeah, you backtrace it and you see that you guys must have missed it in your haste to get in, or it was kind of like noise in the past, but you were bugged getting through the asteroid belt. There's your signature had been captured. You can sense, or rather you see in the sensors that were where certain triggers were encountered, where someone was tracking you and you weren't registering it at the time, and now you notice. And you can see that it was from a ship, or rather you can see that it was from a base of some sort in the asteroid belt, probably. You don't really have a good sense of direction, because as you went through the asteroid belt, your sensors were bugged, fogged. Your heads-up display was not great, like in terms of pinpointing it exactly, but you can sense a direction. But you know that you're headed back, and whatever made the signal, like your signal still has you.
Okay.
What do you guys want?
Well, Varlo would like to immediately start trying to jam it to kill the signal in some way.
Cool.
And if I can't outright just cut the signal, then I'd like to create like mimicked versions of it that send off false positives everywhere.
Yeah, it's kind of one and the same. You're throwing it off The method doesn't really matter. It's doing it all.
Yep.
Okay, you can make me a program roll as you're typing away. Carmela pipes in and says, "We got something coming up on us." You can make a roll there. Yeah. So you are able to.
You fuck on my ship.
You are able to remove the lock.
Beautiful.
The ship can't follow you as easily, but Carmela immediately after you do that says, "We got a bogey," and you guys are like just entering the asteroid belt at this point. And the ship starts bumping along, and she like pulls it up and says, "We got looks like patrol boat class, unidentified markings, doesn't look friendly. It's coming up on us. What do we do? Max? Barlow? Alice? What do we do?"
Their trace on us is ceased, but they have visual confirmation now, so we're gonna have to either engage or run.
Yeah, we
Engage
do.
with what? We don't have weapons, do we? We only have those cyber droids.
You have weapons.
No, you have
You
weapons. You have a
You
ship.
got a sick
Oh,
ass
yeah.
ship.
Oh, okay.
You guys have.
I'll leave it
so
up to you guys because this is not my party.
So the Vanderhorn has a Reaper battery, a good defensive weapon, a really good defensive weapon, a weapon though.
Sorry, for this system, is defensive weapon mean we can just repel attacks, not actually attack back, or?
No. I just meant in terms of what it's best at. So the Reaper battery. Pulling it up. I don't know if this really matters right now, but stepped tapping of the spike drive power plant allows for the emission of a torrent of charged particles. The particles have very little armor penetration, but can fry a small ship's power grid in a strike or two. In the sense that it's a good, like, if you're being harassed by a small fighter or a bunch of small fighters, it's good defensive, but you're not gonna like fight a ship off.
It's
you're not gonna be an assault ship by any sense.
It's, you know, in the Matrix when they have the EMP ready to fry those things that are trying to get on
Gotcha.
the ship. It's that basically.
Gotcha.
So Reaper battery does 3d4 damage, and it's clumsy, whatever that means. Either through a slow discharge time or unwieldy engineering runs. This says -4 to hit small fighter class holes. No, so it might not matter, but basically it's just it doesn't have armor piercing is its main thing. It's not a big beam that you shoot out or torpedoes or something like that.
Okay.
So what do you want to do? You got a ship that you've shook, but had kind of made you, and it's gonna try and make you again just a moment. But like, what do you guys want to do next?
Take a shot and get the fuck out of here.
So if you want to close with it, that would be a different action. Where you want.
I want to get the fuck out of here.
We would have.
I think
to
if
use
it
our
gets close enough,
Oh,
we use the
okay.
weapon. But if not, we're just.
You're not in combat range, so any weapons you have to be in combat range to use. You're not
That's
in
what I'm
combat
saying.
range yet. So
If
you
it
either
gets.
run or turn or do something else. Like
We can try and lose
Yeah,
them in
I'd
the
say let's
asteroid
run
field.
and lose them,
Like,
and
Yeah.
if we get in range, then we use the weapon. But let's not do that if we can get out.
alternately, we can try and like put some distance between them, and then perhaps we could set off the weapon as they try to give chase and create more shrapnel and debris for them to have a harder time finding us. After all, these rocks very strongly interfere with the
Yeah.
readings, and it could shake them.
Yeah.
absolutely. So you guys like Carmela hears this and doesn't ask, but just turns the ship, and you guys take like a sharp turn, and the ship jostles as you nudge your shields up against an asteroid, and you start taking invasive maneuvers through a an asteroid. And I need you to roll me, either you or roll for Carmela, whoever you want. Roll me a 2d6 plus your pilot skill. It would be Carmela right now if someone wants to roll that. 2d6 plus 2.
Oh. Blaster rolls are mine, so somebody else.
Yeah, Maximus or Atlas.
Yeah, let's go roll.
Roll for Carmela. Nice.
A
8. Nice.
Got an 11.
11. So you beat their detection for the time being. Yeah, you start like the ship starts like dipping and diving, and it's uncomfortable travel for what has been the Vanderhorn's been like sleek Lexus limousine type travel. Like this is now like suddenly you're back in a spaceship. And Selfie, you're maybe comfortable finally. Like finally you're getting jostled a little bit. So you guys bump along, and so what happens is just in terms of mechanics, you gain a bit of distance on somebody who had you marked, basically. A pursuer must be in the same region of space you are. Message detection lock. I don't. Int. Drive 1 ship. You guys are a drive 2 ship. So make another 2d6 plus 2. And add so it's 2d6 plus 4 total. Someone roll that for Carmela.
Okay, I guess I'll do it
it.
again. Believe.
Get him.
That's
Anime.
pretty good. 14.
Nice.
13.
So you guys gain some time. Basically, so you shook them, and then you can see actually in your sensor readout there's a pilot ship or some sort of warship that's pursuing you. It's unidentified. Looks like a pirate. You guys have shook them, and then what you just did there is confirmed that you get 6 hours away from them. So you guys basically make it out and get a lead on them.
Okay.
We're gonna do this. If the pursued ship wins, it gets 6 hours of distance, modified by any spike drive rating. No, you guys have equal spike drives. It can use this time. So you can use this time if you want to try and find a spot in the asteroid belt. You basically get 6 hours where you're running and you're going to get some distance, but do you want to try and hide somewhere, or do you just want to try and yes, sleeping dog. Yes.
Look at him go.
Do you want to go somewhere where you can curl in the corner with a dog, or do you want to keep running?
I think we like set off the weapon, create a bunch of debris, and have them have a harder time finding us, and then use that distraction to just lose them and piece the fuck out.
The debris is not so close that that's going to have any effect on their tracking ability. Basically, they had you made, they got your signature. Even if you make them, basically, you already did that.
Yeah.
And you're getting away. The fact that you got 6 hours distance on them is the reason. It could have been that you outran them. It could have been that you blew up some asteroids that sort of obscured their path. It could have been sensor jamming. You know what I mean? It's a variety of reasons. You already basically...
Okay.
That's what you just
Yeah.
did.
Okay.
So,
I mean, it's 24 hours to get out of the asteroid field, right?
yeah, so it would be minus 6 hours, so you'd be at like 18 hours to go.
18 hours? It's up to you guys. Do you think we should hide, or do you think we should just keep going?
I say we run and spike. If we've got a
Yeah.
6 hour lead, then we can probably maintain it, and then as soon as we get out of the asteroid field, we can make for the edge of the system and then just
Yeah,
spike.
I don't think going after it. If
Well, I didn't mean going after. I meant like hiding and like. But I think that's the better option. Just
They
keep
probably
going.
know this area a lot better than we do.
Yeah, exactly. And we took out their
Trace on us.
tracker, right? So let's
Yep.
do that. Maximus, you good with that? All right, cool.
Yep.
So we keep going. We're trying to get out of here. Blow this popsicle stand.
Cool. So you guys, yeah. So you take off and you weave through, and eventually you lose sensor sight of the ship. You seem to shake it, and 6 hours passes, and you kind of check in, and the ship hasn't caught up. And yeah, you seem to be in the clear. Another 18 hours to go, and you're still weaving. Carmela's been at the controls the whole time. She's looking intense. And after about like 8 or 10 hours, she's like, okay, I have to hand it over for a little bit and get some hours of rest. And yeah, like she switches off with Varlo, who pilots the ship. And yeah, it's all clear.
Before Varlo gets to the controls, Atlas hands him like super coffee. It's regular coffee with like 6 caffeine pills in it.
Atlas's stuff. It's just
Well, he can't drive anymore the ship because he's like,
Look, it's fine. There's so much debris. No one notices, right?
right. This is just like a video game. Yeah. So you proceed on. Cool. And yeah, you guys after a day, 24 hours, it's a tense day where you're all monitoring, and there's no signs from the ship feed.
Cool.
And yeah, you like all wake up, kind of like sync your schedules, kind of, and all wake up at the same morning, and come out of the asteroid field. And the ship finally, after being a really rough, this was not as pleasant as when Rosebud brought you through the first time coming in. This was you piloting your way out, and Carmela pulled a lot of hours, and she's exhausted. But you come out on the other side. And you're entering the region. It'll be another, I don't know, like 18 hours to get to Spike's distance, basically. You're on your way out. You got through, and you're on your way out.
Cool.
I need you to roll me Carmela's 2d6 plus 2.
All right, I'm gonna. Someone else do this. Maximus, you do it. You haven't rolled anything yet, right?
2d6 plus 2.
2d6 plus 2.
I can do that.
Woo! See, hot dice.
14's me, 9 was
Oh,
Max.
never mind. Fuck.
You see as you come out of the asteroid field, the indicator of lock comes up. Seems like they anticipated you were getting out of the sector. And the ship is there, and it's closing. What do you guys want to do?
It's closing into weapons range.
It's not there yet.
But
What
is
do you
that
wanna
what it's
do here?
is that what it's going like? Okay.
Yeah, it's moving in. It's clearly maneuvering in to be. It clearly said, stop pursuing to try and chase through the asteroid field, and we're gonna take our own route through and get ahead.
Gotcha.
And it did that.
Rosebud, at what distance will we need to be for me to interfere with their systems? Of a ship of that class.
System interference would need to be in engagement range where they could also fire their weapons.
Let's try and keep them at a distance, yes? And then only
Yeah.
fight when
Can
necessary.
we like go the opposite direction and we just stay out of range?
You would have to do something to shake them right now, and you don't have the benefit of the asteroid field unless you want to turn back and go back into it. Basically, they're as fast as you.
If they're as fast as us, then couldn't we just get into spike range and dip out before they could reach us?
So you could do a pursuit. They're gonna keep range. Basically, they're at the end of this sort of turn we're in right now. They're gonna get close enough. They got the jump on you.
Okay.
They're gonna get close enough, and then we're gonna roll initiative. If you want to do something like go back into the asteroid field or do something else, you could maybe avoid it with rolls. If you start running out towards the perimeter, they're on that track already. They knew you were. They anticipated that you were going to go to the perimeter.
Turn back in or fight?
Maximus, you're de facto leader.
Carmela, you're the pilot.
There's a bunch of sleeping sex bots.
Let's
in here.
fight!
We have put cargo. Okay.
Fuck the cargo.
No, don't.
No,
No.
You're supposed to.
Yeah, I think as you say that, Atlas is like, very well, I'll prepare them, and he just grabs like the softest cushions out of his bed and like runs downstairs. He grabs like belts and straps, and like I think like while you guys are preparing the fight, he's like strapping them in so that they don't just tumble everywhere during evasive maneuvers.
Okay.
Nice. See, Carmela's like, we taking him? We're taking him. Fuck him. Let's go. And she turns the ship. She's running the ship. She's not like trying to like just fight them. She's turning the ship to go towards Spike space, because if they get damaged or disabled for a round, then you get the jump on them and you can get away. Like the goal is still to get away, but you're gonna meet them in a moment. And you're gonna meet them now. Boom. So, I need you guys to roll a 1d8 modified by int or dex modifier of the pilot. I will give the high int or dex mod to any of the crew members. So, someone roll initiative. 1d8 plus the best int.
My int mod is +2.
Anyone can beat a +2.
Yeah,
Nope. It's not wisdom, so it's not me.
Good. 1d8 +2.
Carmela. Does she have stats?
Yeah, she wouldn't be better than that. I'd rather.
I'm not sure. Like, can I view her stats at all?
9.
Can I view her stats on her character sheet?
What was that?
No, she doesn't. She doesn't have stats. She has NPC stats, so she has trained, untrained,
Okay.
and stuff like that. But she doesn't necessarily
Gotcha.
have like individual stats.
I think it would just.
That's a
be,
9. That's pretty fucking good, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I think it would be the same.
Varlo has no middle of the pack. It's either the worst roll or the best roll.
Let me see what this rolls. 6. It doesn't matter. So you're first.
Very cool.
So let me. Oh god, I need initiative.
So the Vanderhorn is first, guys. This is our first space
do it.
battle. We just need to tow Maximus from the outside so he can use his spike thrower and spider creature.
Sad time.
Just like let me climb into my robot with the bomb strapped to it and launch me on their ship. I got
yeah.
this.
Let me do a Sicarian. I'll jump from our ship to their ship. And then I'll just fucking murder all of them in their ships. I'll
And then he takes
pull
their
one of
ship
them
and
into a
pieces
locker,
out.
and I'll threaten to blow the whole thing up. That was the best scene in all of Swan Song.
Dude, that literally, like, I wasn't really feeling Swan Song until then. I'm just like, yeah, no, this is it. This is what I wanted.
All right, guys, you're entering into ship combat. So you shook this guy enough, or this ship, but it managed to hang on, and you are making a run for Spike space, basically. But they anticipate that, like, if you're gonna be like going through the out of the freaking Briggs University area, you're gonna be heading out of the sector or out of the system, and they anticipate and jumped ahead. They go first, and they close the distance quickly. Do you guys need a refresher? Do you remember, or have you reviewed recently?
I thought we go first because we got the 9 and they got.
Oh, you do. I'm sorry. So they close the distance, but you guys go first.
Okay.
So each one of you, including Carmela and Jorans and Adair if he was here, but he's not. I guess technically you could throw any number of sex bots. You can't do anything. But one of the general actions is do your duty, and it can be invoked. Anyway, blowjobs just everywhere.
That's Jordan's duty. He's just like, all right, I got this side.
Look, if you stop fighting us, I will give you exactly 2 sex droids.
So you guys are entering combat. You need to assign everybody to a
Station.
A station. Where does everyone go? I imagine that Max, you're going to the gunnery, right? You're gonna be shooting. I mean, Selfie could shoot too. You're both good shooters. Someone needs to be the captain. Someone needs to be in bridge, which is driving. Someone needs to be comms.
Way better shooter than he is. He's the melee guy.
I think you have the heavy weapons too. I can like shoot smaller pistols maybe, but
it doesn't.
My shoot's a 2, so.
So it's only the shoot skill. That's all that matters. It's not the finer points.
Mine is not as good as a 2.
Yeah, my shoot's a 2, so.
So, Max, you're in the gunnery then? Is that what you want to do?
Yep, definitely.
Okay, so we need a captain. Who's the captain? Max was also a candidate, but anyone can do it.
What does captain need to be good at? I can do that. I'm a spacer.
Okay, so. Okay, let me read this out.
I just don't want to do it if I'm going to be bad at it.
No, but you are guiding the whole team. That's the whole point what we're doing right now. Okay? Yeah, but Kevin, here's the narrative. It's page 115 in the book. But at the start of every ship's turn, the captain decides the order in which the departments will take their action. In the chaos of combat, she can give directions to the heads of the departments, but they are not obligated to follow them. When a department's turn comes up, the PC in charge chooses actions, so it's each person in charge of their department chooses whether it's a specific list of their department or whether a general action. Some actions may require skill checks, while others are automatically successful. Some actions may require command points to be spent. So your currency in battle is to gain command points in the turn to spend them to do things, because at the end of your turn, the command points are reset. You're back to 0. So you start each turn at 0. So if certain departments need to do things, you need to allot them command points. It's your job to explain to the crew what they should do.
Okay.
So, the department head does not need to get permission to spend points. If he decides to burn points to open fire when the rest of the crew wants him to save them, that's too bad. So anyone because you're PCs, work together. You have the opportunity. You have open comms. You're discussing what to do here. The captain can direct things. That's his job, his or her job. But the goal here is, I mean, you can do anything you want. In other words, each person can decide to do something. That's kind of the mechanic.
So. Varlo, are you gonna go on engineering? Because I feel like you're the only one that can fix.
Yeah.
Or do you want to do? Because comms is the one that can target other ships, but I could do that because I have a decent int program. I have 0 in program and a +1 to int.
Yeah, so. I think it makes more sense for me to be able to hold our engineering together in this case. Because we're not trying to go for a prolonged fight. We're trying to just damage them and get the fuck out.
Okay.
Cool. So let's declare. So Maximus hits a button, and the alarm klaxons go off. Like the Vanderhorns skips to action. Jorans comes up. He's like, "We got pursuers. What's the plan?" And I think you all huddle together for a moment and divvy up duties. Mm-hmm. Carmela says, "I got the controls. I'll be bridge." Who's doing comms?
Atlas is like sitting next to her, and I think like you see him crack his hands, and then two other pairs come out, and you just see him start typing everything, and like a little headset visor comes down on his head.
Yep.
And like while he's doing that, because this is like his administrating duties, like you all get psionic uplinks to him, and he's just like, you're all uplinked. Speak when you can. No, don't worry about comms. I got this. And it's just like,
Nice.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So we got a comms officer aligned. Engineering. Varlo, what do you do? I guess when you're like everyone's gathered together.
Varlo immediately runs to the elevator and calls out, "I'll be in the engine room." Smashes a button and heads down towards the ship's core, and will be
Welcome,
the system.
Varlo. Engineering sector activated, and a bunch of as you walk down, there's a bunch of toolkits that pop out, and you see the core before you.
There's just a diagnostic screen around him, all okay.
Yeah. At the same moment, as Varlo nods to the group and turns away, we see a seat that hasn't come out yet, a seat drop down from the ceiling, and it's the gunnery seat. And who climbs in there?
Max.
You're shooting, right?
Yeah. Max climbs into the gunnery seat, takes aim.
Yeah. So you climb in. Yeah, you see Max sort of nod, and he sort of climbs up in and takes the controls, and that goes up. And so that fulfills the actions. And so Carmela looks up and says, "Selfie,
let's do this.
It's your call." And she looks up and she says,
"Yeah, I'm just kind of bracing myself on the controls next to Carmela in the bridge."
I got him there. It's the Havoc. That's what they call it, the Havoc. Patrol boat class, frigate. Looks like crew probably 6, 7, 8, something in that range. Plasma beam. They're coming on as hot.
All right. Let's
go.
Do it.
And that's where we'll stop.
I am very excited for ship
Nice.
combat. I always wish there was more of it in Swan Song, and so I'm excited to partake in it here.
It's so freaking deadly. I had to struggle for a way to figure out how to. So they had the jump of you guys coming into the sector, and you still managed to shake them. And I didn't want to make it happen. I wanted to let some roles play out. I didn't want to well, I wanted combat, and they may want combat. I'm gonna make combat. So
yeah. Well, I mean, let's play it out. We'll play it out.
Yeah, but they've caught up to you, and there's gonna be some combat here.
Sounds good.
I think it came at a good time. Some of us have some pent-up aggression that they might need to get out.
Also, as you all take your command stations. By the way, Jorans can fulfill a role. Even though he's not in a command station, any of the
general actions.
Yeah, he can do a general action. The ones he can do are not necessarily. You have to describe them.
Yeah.
What does he do productively? You tell me, and it has to be productive. It can't be well, he sits there and pats me on the back. It doesn't quite work that way.
Moral support.
So, Kevin, I know you need to go. We're 2 minutes over. So, let's wrap it up here. I'll say, review ship combat. Ship combat works by command points. Doing anything that actually harms the other ship means accruing command points, meaning that everyone works together to say okay, this turn I'm putting a command point in the bank.
Yeah.
I'm putting a command point. Let's stack them up, and it's the captain's job to sort
Gotcha.
of call this. Look at that. Look at this chapter, and at the end of the ship combat chapter, Kevin, there's a short example narrative of what ship combat looks like. it doesn't cover all scenarios.
I will be prepared.
It's page like 115 or 116, but like look at that. It gives you a good idea about like what the captain should do. You're the strategy guy.
Okay.
And that's good. Like it doesn't have to be. It won't work out that way, but like you have an idea. Like I want to make sure we get enough command points the first round so that the gunnery guy can get a couple shots off.
Yeah. I will do my homework and come prepared, and hopefully not kill us
We're
all.
gonna. Yeah. Do we want to talk about scheduling off stream?
Probably, so we don't bore people. But I think we'll be shooting for another Monday coming up soon. So give the channel. By the way, thanks for watching. If you like the show, give the channel a follow, because then you'll be notified when we go live instead of waiting to find out all on your own. Yeah. Anyways, I think we're just gonna sign off here. So thanks for watching. Everyone wave goodbye, and we'll catch you guys later. See ya.